I think it is the people who the Zoom. If you have any questions, please.
Shamila, you can unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah, I could hear y'all.
Ram Mohanji, I think that's you. You can unmute yourself if you're there. Shamila, did you have any questions?
So far, no, everything is good on my side, Madam Aguilar, don't worry. I'm enjoying the talk. I'm just listening to the discussion topic going on.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you for your contribution.
No worries. My pleasure.
So does anybody else, I think we're done for the presentation, but does anybody have any question? Like I said, this is just a taster because what we're going to do is expand on these and probably pick smaller topics of it and then go into that further. This is just an overview. This is nothing, and like the doctor said, people's values, people's beliefs are very different, and a lot of people have limiting beliefs, and what we want to do is find out what that limiting belief is. And for them, they probably don't believe in themselves that I've got a solution to my problem. They just need to talk, and then they'll realize, oh no, I can sort that out. It's like the students as well. But we never want to say that we're going to tell you. We never, point the finger. We never point the finger at anybody.
Excuse me, Pushpa, I have a question. I know you talked about depression, anxiety, or any other distress or whatever. How would you notify when others, if they're going through a tough time, or they're not themselves? You said you've went to shopping and you've noticed a person crying because you've seen she's crying.
Yes.
But if someone, I know your colleague or whatever, how would you notice that he's not doing well, he's not himself? And how would you notice that?
So,
is there a basic symptoms or generic exhibits they do?
well, if it's somebody that you already know, you'll probably know their normal behavior.
Yeah.
So if anything's changed in that, if they've changed in the eating habits or the way that they're talking, and you know what, there might not be anything evident, but you might be feeling it in your mind and in your heart, and you might just want to ask the question, is everything okay? Is anything going on? And if it's still bugging you, gradually do it. Don't just go and throw up on them and say you're depressed. What's going on? Yeah.
Particularly if they're introverts. If they're extrovert, you can notice it very quickly. And he's very talkative, and he's very probably he's down. He's not talking to anyone today. Or he's quiet. You can say why he's quiet.
Yeah. Look into their eyes as well. Eyes is a really good reflection. So one thing we do in neurotherapy is where we can see where people actually are telling the truth or where they're actually creating something.
Yeah.
So you might, this is something that I might do a topic on at a later date where we can identify people. And again, it might be different for people, but it's a good indication of, are they being honest with me, or is there something else behind that? Listening to their tonality. Is their tonality low? Is it high? Are they passionate? Is there excitement? What's changed? Yeah.
I think we have a look at, if, as you said about the pattern of behaviour, if it's changed, and, are they having more seeming to be more down than usual? So everyone has ups and downs, and that's okay, but, is there more downtime than uptime? And, are they not enjoying things that they enjoyed before? Are they pulling away? Do they usually come out for lunch every Friday, and now they're not coming out to lunch every Friday? So those little indicators, I think, is the pattern different to what you would expect? Or do you just get a sense? Sometimes when just being with people, you can get a sense of what their emotion is. You can tell if someone is feeling happy just by the way they talk or they move, opposed to, that there's something wrong, that there's something bugging them.
Is that true in the case of burnout? Like, you burn out and you're too busy at work and you work long hours and long period of time, I should say. At some point they snap out and they've gone into a different state.
Burnout is, and it really depends on the job. People won't accept that they're going through anything until they've had that burnout. I had burnout 2 years ago, and I was told the way I was carrying on, I was working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. I still do crazy weeks.
Wow.
But I crashed. Literally, my immune system crashed.
I think that working from home is bringing that joy to us, to our bedrooms, and But we used to shut off the system at work and go home and relax, right?
And now it's there.
And then you go back tomorrow morning and address those issues that you left behind. But now, when you are at home, we used to bring home, we call it, but now you are at home. And it's in your living room and bedroom, everywhere where you are. So you're not leaving that behind it. So the burnout is more and more, I noticed.
It is coming.
It spills over, right?
Yeah.
That's
From
right.
work to home, it's much easier to spill over. So I work mostly with police officers, and one of the strategies that is useful for them is compartmentalisation. Particularly, I work with officers that are involved in child abuse and exploitation. So at the end of the day, they turn off their computer. They do we teach them to do a routine to leave that behind at their desk, so then they can take on their real life when they leave headquarters or wherever they are. And that has been, like in terms of COVID, such a big issue. Even for our officers that are working in that space, some of them are working at home. So you can imagine having that work in your home life as well, when you have partners and potentially children of your own now, and working in that's sort of an extreme case, I guess, of spillover that can occur. So I think it's about thinking about strategies. So do you have a space in your house where you have your computer that you can actually shut the door? Like, physical barriers. Our minds work well with physical barriers. So can I have my computer in a room that I can actually shut at the end of the day, and it's not in the lounge room or the bedroom or whatever? And sometimes it's not possible to do that. Even like I've given advice to people that, a small 1-bedroom apartment or studio apartment, just putting something over your computer. So like get a sheet, put it over your computer. At the end of the day, work's done, like it's closing it down. And so you're not thinking about it. So some of those simple strategies can work, but that is one of the biggest issues that's from a workplace perspective that has impacted on mental health during COVID. And always feeling like you have to be at work because work's right there. So yeah, I think that's a really good point. But there's some easy mechanisms I guess you can try, and everything, as you've said, everyone's different. So some people just putting a sheet over the computer works. Other people it has to be a separate room. You find out what works for you.
Yeah.
I have a question. In this world of social media, so many people put out their feelings, right?
Yes.
Those feelings could be one time. In this world of social media, people put out their feelings, right? And some.
Really good information. I have a quick question. We talk about, we promote these events and all those things. Still, the stigma and participation still lives. We all, the experts, we all are, but when it comes to the thing where there always we do it a different way, I think Jack is there, Spongy there. So what is the way we can bring the people into the thing,
I can answer that this thing for you. The thing is, it's a very simple thing. You can bring the horse to the water, but that you can't force it to drink it. Now, these are all the things is, when I say this is another thing what I use in this thing. Nobody can cure anybody. Let me put this thing. You are the person who can cure yourself. Now, you need to find ways and means of how you do it yourself, and nothing works. It's not something prescribed for everyone. We all have to find the space and this thing. At the moment, what we can do is, as an organization, we can publicize this more and more, give it more and more to people, so that the peer group. One thing what we were thinking about is, I think you might have heard as well, put a Facebook group on there so that people can seek. Saying that not a medical help, because they need to seek medical help through medical channels, but at least they can actually put something and find out where some other person, like a peer group kind of thing, where they can say, well, I'm having this issue in this way. Is there anybody else having this issue in this way? Like say simple assignments or finding a job or whatever. So that is how far we can promote it. But then the thing is, yes, you brought the right question. That's what I was about to say at the end of closing this thing. That's what I was saying. I'm really happy the way this seminar is going, though there is only a small number of us interacting and doing, and few of us doing. It's really a very worthwhile seminar, and I don't think you'll get anything better than when you sit with your GP. I won't say you will get anything better than what you got here, what the discussion, what has happened, than you get in your GP for your counseling or for your understanding of the problems. Now, we are going to put this on our website and Facebook, whatever discussions has happened, so that people can understand what is this and then seek help from various people and various links what are provided. That's the best I can see from my end, unless anybody else has any other suggestions.
I was going to, sorry, go on, Ravi.
So from my end, I think, Pushpa, thank you very much. I'm preempting my thank you for this. Like Dr. Ramana said, the seminar is fantastic. I have gained a few points from it in terms of my dealing with my students and my teenagers. I deal with a lot of teenagers, believe you me, from 14-year-old right up to 60-year-olds. They're still teenagers for me as students. But, and I have come across the same visual. I know a person, I see a person every day, and suddenly I see a person down, and then I go up to them and say, can I have a cup of tea with you? Would I make you a cup of tea? And let's sit down and have a chat. And we don't have to just say, I don't have to ask them the question, are you okay? I just say, you're not feeling good today, you've been down a few weeks, and I see you not very happy, is there something wrong? That's the conversation we have. And believe you me, after a few weeks, they're back to their normal self. But coming back to the question of what Dr. Ramanan says, I think this seminar is a seed for a number of smaller seminars focusing on very specific groups of people. So while we're here as a generic group, we would take it to the mums as one group, we would take it to the professionals as another group, and we'll take it to the teenagers as another group, and we'll take it to the school kids as another group. So there would be seminars for different types of groups of people, because of different types of people require a different focus of this very particular seminar. So we need people to identify these people, and we need to even have kids identifying within themselves, I have a problem, and this is my dark space, and how do I dig myself out of this dark space? Yeah. Right? And we know that technology is so quick today that they can do things in a blink of an eye. They talk to you this afternoon, they're going home on the bus, and somebody sends them a nasty text, or they hear something bad on the internet, and believe you me, they're sitting in the cellar of their house and thinking and contemplating something else. So we need to be able to give them those tools that when they identify something like this, yes, let me take 10 breaths, let me count to 20, let me throw that message apart and rethink the message. And then how do I react to that message?
And that's, it's so true that even if we did create some form of peer group, it would be absolutely confidential. And even if there was one person here, like I said, even if one person goes out of here and makes a difference, then that's a rippling effect, because 10 of you could go out, impact 10 other people, and they'd go and impact 10 other people. So through this small forum today, we could be impacting hundreds of lives between us. And it truly, even if it's the smallest thing like listening or having a discussion or being aware, is that little things like this make a difference. And I think, it's absolutely worth it. We all come in with different experiences. I'm no different to you. You guys have got so much more knowledge and wisdom than I, which I could take on board and learn from. So we're all on this platform right now. The whole world is on an equal platform. There is no hierarchy. There is no position. We're all experiencing something, and we can all be helpful to somebody as well. All right, I think we're done for time. Simon, you had a question? Yeah.
I can ask in the next.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think because we're already running 5 minutes late, I would like to again thank Dr. Pushpa for sharing her experience in this area.